I'm Scotty Smith, and this is USL Quick Strike. We're going to get you up to date on USL soccer in hopefully less than 10 minutes. For a more detailed chat, listen to the good people over at the USL Show. You can find them on iTunes, Stitcher, and other podcasting platforms. It's August 21st, 2018, and FC Cincinnati is top table in the East. FCC defeated third-place Charleston 3-0 on Saturday night to go 6 points clear of second-place Pittsburgh. The Riverhounds dropped points on the weekend when they could only muster a draw against 10-man Charlotte. Bob Lilly's squad is still in the hunt for the top spot and does have a game in hand. They will look to make it 5 unbeaten Wednesday night versus Tampa Bay. We are less than 2 weeks away from a head-to-head battle. First place Cincinnati hosts second-place Pittsburgh on September 1st. Despite the lopsided loss to Cincinnati, the Charleston Battery sit third. Holders Louisville City are right behind them and have 2 games in hand. There's a logjam behind the top 4, with 5 teams separated by only a point. Indy 11 and Bethlehem Steel have 36 each, but Indy has 3 games in hand and could easily end up in the top 4. Ottawa Fury, Red Bull Reserves, and Nashville all have 35 points. Nashville is the team on the outside looking in, but they do have 2 games in hand over Ottawa. Most teams have 2 matches this week, so we should have a clearer picture in our next episode of Quick Strike. North Carolina rounds out the top 10, followed by Charlotte, Tampa, Penn, Richmond, Atlanta Reserves, and Toronto Reserves. The self-relegating Toronto Reserves have only earned 9 points, but they have mercifully named themselves as an expansion team in the new USL Division III League starting in 2019. Smart move. They will be replaced in the East by Loudoun United, Hartford Athletic, and possibly Memphis and Birmingham if USL delays the creation of the Central Conference until 2020. Speaking of conferences, the Western Conference top spot has been occupied by RSL Reserves for most of the last 2 years. This weekend was no exception. The Butterflies are 3 points clear of Orange County, and they have a game in hand. Phoenix Rising is in 3rd position, but Orange County earned the 2nd spot fair and square when they defeated Phoenix Rising in a 4-3 thriller on August the 11th. The OC will take on Portland Reserves on Wednesday night. Phoenix will face San Antonio. The Tower Bridge Battalion is not happy. Sacramento has dropped its last 2, including a blistering loss to LA Reserves on the weekend. They gave up 4 goals in the first half and looked overwhelmed from the jump. Nonetheless, they are only 1 point out of the top 3 and will look to jump up this weekend against Reno 1868. The rest of the playoff spots are currently occupied by the aforementioned Portland Reserves and Reno 1868, St. Louis FC, and San Antonio FC. Spots 9 through 12 are very tight, and the playoffs are well within reach for Kansas City Reserves, Fresno FC, and OKC Energy. As well as Colorado Springs. LA Reserves, Las Vegas Lights, Rio Grande Valley, Seattle Reserves, and Tulsa Roughnecks round out the table. Speaking of Tulsa, they will be in Memphis September 1st for a match against Memphis resident Tim Howard and the Colorado Rapids. This will be the first professional outdoor soccer match in Memphis in 38 years, and it is a near certainty that Tim Howard will be the only person on the field who was alive the last time that happened. His former youth coach and current USL Memphis coach Tim Mulqueen will be in attendance, and it should be quite the happy reunion for the U.S. international and the man who waived training fees for him when he was 12 so that he could get the instruction he needed to grow up and play for 13 seasons in the Premier League. Tim Howard has actively been involved in this USL Memphis launch. Some of us got to go down and shoot a little promotion video with him recently over near the Liberty Bowl. I'm excited to see how that turned out. USL Memphis is also releasing their branding that day, which is appropriate because the date is 9/01. That's our area code for those of you who do not live here. That means that we can stop saying USL Memphis and start saying... We saw the crest over a year ago, and only once did somebody on this podcast slip up and say... Okay, that somebody was me. But we are all thrilled that the name will be out there in the open, and we can say whenever we want. In other expansion news, Troy Lesesny was named as the head coach of the expansion New Mexico side. USL New Mexico will join USL El Paso in the West next year, unless El Paso somehow sneaks into the East should there be one. Into the Central. It would make no sense for El Paso to be in the East. That would be about the least sensical thing possible. There are even songs about El Paso being in the West. I meant the Central. El Paso could, potentially, slip into the Central. FC Dallas of MLS was rumored to be starting a USL team. It could be Division II or possibly Division III. No official announcement has yet occurred. Speaking of D3, the owners have met, and it looks like 10 teams will participate in the Startup League come 2019. Those who have already been named: FC Tucson, Tormenta FC, Greenville Triumph, Madison Pro Soccer, Toronto Reserves, and a brand new team in Chattanooga. A lot of people are upset about that last one, and rightfully so. Our thoughts and prayers are most definitely with our brothers and sisters in the Chattahooligans. Keep fighting the good fight. We close today with 3 matches to watch this week. The first 2 are on Wednesday night. The Pittsburgh Riverhounds try to make it 5 unbeaten when they take on the Tampa Bay Rowdies. That game is at 7 Eastern, 6 o'clock in Memphis. After that match, you'll have the better part of an hour to run over to Central Barbecue, grab a half slab to go, and get back to your seat because Phoenix Rising takes on San Antonio FC at 9 o'clock Memphis time. Both games, like all USL games, are on ESPN Plus or wherever you illegally pirate USL matches. 2. Las Vegas and Fresno are both expansion squads. I've been keeping my eye on the expansion sides because next year we're going to have one. Go out to Slider Inn or the Rail Yard with your buddies on Saturday night, but get back for the 10 p.m. Memphis time kickoff of Las Vegas Lights and Fresno FC. There are multiple reasons to watch. 1, you never know what you're going to get at a Las Vegas game. You might see llamas, luchadors, legalized in-stadium betting, a coach smoking cigarettes in the supporter section, a commercial for a major weed distributor, a keeper that runs into the attacking third before distributing the ball, or a new record for red cards in a season. 3rd, Fresno is barely outside the playoff picture. They have 33 points, and the current cutoff is 34. Finally, the Las Vegas supporters section is always entertaining. Those games have a great atmosphere with drums, chants, smoke, the whole 9. Give it a look-see. You will be entertained. And with any luck, you might just see Freddie Adu. Remember Freddie Adu? Yep, that one. He is a full-fledged member of Las Vegas Lights FC and has made 3 starts. He even scored a goal in June. That's June of 2018, not 2013, so he has obviously still got it. Hashtag Freddie2Memphis. I am not even joking. Make it happen, Andrew Bell. Well, that's it for this edition of USL Quick Strike. I'm Scotty Smith. Enjoy your soccer, everybody.